رحبوا معي بالاستاذ عبد الله الياس وكلمه توسيع نطاق الاعمال التجاريه والنمو، وهو الشريك المؤسس والمدير التنفيذي لكريم.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. I have to keep this very short because you still didn't have your coffee and because I have to go to the airport. So two very strong reasons to not over-exceed your time. When I sold my company Anwani or when I was about to sell my company Anwani to Careem, people told me, Abdullah, you are going to sell your company, that's good, but why do you want to join Careem at the same time? You're joining Careem as a co-founder and you're actually jumping on a very small company, which Careem was at that time. I'm talking about a time which is roughly 15 months ago, where Careem indeed was small. And there was this other company against which Careem was competing, which was kind of big, and still is. And people said, you are joining a company actually, which is going to die a very, very slow death, or maybe even a fast death. So don't do that. Okay. Good, so I actually still sold the company to Careem, and I joined the co-founder team. And today I'm here to tell you a little bit what growth is, what scaling is, and what the key takeaways were maybe on this journey. And when I say key takeaways, I'm really standing here. Yes, today Careem is big, at least a little bit bigger than before, but we are still experiencing the journey to becoming really, really a success story. So I'm not standing here today to tell you what a success story looks like and how growth and scaling up works. This is something I'm learning, and the whole team is learning actually every day. When you have this growth, then you actually cannot say exactly how the next months will be, and you're growing and experiencing and learning. But I can tell you very much where we failed, and this is how I want really to focus my speech on. We failed in some things. I want to give this in this speech as a takeaway to you. So the three parts of the speech will be quickly growth, scale, and key takeaways. Now, let me just figure this out. Now, I still joined, and today, after 15 months, I remember the first day I actually received my email, Abdulla@Careem.com. The first email I received in my inbox was an email sent to all at Careem.com, and it was saying, hey, there's bananas in the kitchen. I brought bananas with me to the kitchen. Please come and have them. And I was sitting in Jeddah, and the team which was sending that was actually in Dubai. And I was sitting in Jeddah with two people saying, don't they know we are out there? Yeah. So it was really a company which was Dubai focused. It was a small team in Dubai. At that day, it was maybe 40, 50 people in the company. Today, 15 months later, here are the metrics. This email cannot be sent today anymore. We are talking about a company which is today in 23 cities. It is in 10 countries. And over the last 15 months here in Saudi, we have grown the business 50x. Talking employees, as mentioned, it was maybe before 50. Today we are at 250 employees. And this in a very small time, short time span. And we have, even at our scale where we are today, and we are, alhamdulillah, I'm standing here really blessed, and humbled to say we are the fastest growing technology company in the Middle East. Even at our scale today, the company is valued at 220 million US dollar. Even at that scale, we have been able to still grow 30% month on month, which means that you actually are growing the company in 3 months by double. you double your numbers in 3 months. And this growth, to me, came maybe out of one major reason, that we really are always trying to understand the market. We are a local company, and our strength is that we are local. We have local talent, and what we really have to do on a daily basis is we have to understand what the right product market fit is. This is really the key. If you understand the product market fit, then you actually can do something. When I joined, the first thing I did actually was to introduce cash. It was a product where you can pay only with with credit cards. And having said that, we were working on a very small niche of the people, of the population here in Saudi. We changed that, we opened cash, and people were actually out of a sudden able to pay in the car after the ride. This changed the game. And we just did it, but when you do something like that, you just go and run and you do it because you're still a startup. You just do it, you don't think about the consequences. When you grow this business so fast, and the numbers were doubling every month of the people who are using cash, this just went through the roof, and we were not yet there to say, okay, when people are actually collecting all this cash out there for us, and it's not a credit card transaction anymore, what will we do with all the cash? How? I mean, this is our money in the captain's hand. We don't say driver, we say captains. So this is our money in captain's hand. So how actually can we build this as a scalable process, as a scalable product? This was not figured out at all. And to not make our office look like this, we had to find a solution actually to not let all the captains come to the office and deliver cash at the office. This is not scalable. Today, 6 months later, after we introduced cash, or even 8 months later, time is flying, I can tell you that we still haven't done this properly. And this is really, to me, okay, it was a huge success story that we were able to double the numbers so fast, but we really failed in finding a very scalable solution. I think we have it now, and hopefully soon it can be really revealed, but it's not yet in place. Then, when you scale, another very ugly thing happens is that, especially for someone like me who is really people-oriented, is that you, at some point in time, you walk into the office and you don't know the people working in the office anymore. So this is the moment when you really see, okay, the process of scaling up this company and hiring people so fast is actually not doable. And I really believe in someone who is working in Saudi and has a team in Saudi, he has to know each and every person working in the company. We are not that big yet. We're at 70 people today in Saudi, and really every person in the company has to know the other person. This is how we can really build a strong culture in the company, and really a strong connect and a tribe behavior in the team. And only this way you can scale. If you don't do that, and this is something else I think we have to figure out, because you need to scale the time of the manager. It must be scalable. You cannot just be in operations non-stop, but you have to actually reduce the amount of operations involvement of the manager, and have more time, and by this have more quality time for your people. And then the other thing is, when you scale so fast, you just move into an office and find out after you moved in that it's already too small. And this is exactly what happened to us here in Riyadh. We just moved into an office. Al-Muqawil has given us the keys, and we are faced out of a sudden with a situation where we have 300 captains every day floating into our office. Now, this is not really nice for the neighbors, and it is an office which is already too small. So we told the people, please keep your stuff in the boxes. We have to find a solution. We have to move out quickly. And this, I think this is another very nice example where you say, okay, you're growing 30% month to month, but our brain is not really understanding what it means you have to think like 4, 5, 6 months ahead to make a small move. Now, the key takeaways for me, and this is how I want to close the speech. I think the key takeaway is if you want to build a business which grows fast and scales fast, I think a key component of it is that you really are solving a daily issue. And I agree there are some countries around there where the ground transportation is worse than in Saudi or in the region, but still we are working on something which is broken. So this is, I think, one key element. The second is people. Now I really believe in talent. I really believe in local talent. If you want to grow a business that fast, you cannot have the answers to each and every question, because by time you will even be at a point where you don't even know the questions anymore. You don't know what to ask. And if you hire the right people and they come on board and you make them owners of the journey, you give them stocks, they become owners in the business, then actually they will start asking right questions and finding the right answers. So this is really it. And you cannot do that if you don't have a strong story. You need to have a strong story to get the best people on board. If you just tell them, hey, this is a fast-growing company, no one will jump on. If you tell them, our mission is to improve people's lives, to make it easier, and to build an awesome organization which inspires. This is our mission statement. And we do this with a deep culture. Then actually you can start, because these awesome people, they find jobs everywhere. And they can even maybe make more money somewhere else on the spot. But you have to have a strong story to tell and a very strong culture. And the culture of Careem is very, very much value driven. What we do is we really believe in the drivers whom we are calling captains, and that's the reason why we are calling them captains. We think when we say drivers, we look down, and this is للأسف how our culture is built here in the Middle East. So we brought them up there to look really face to face to this captain who is delivering an awesome service. And having said that is one thing, and changing the term driver to captain in our whole communication is one thing, but really doing it is something different. And here is a picture of our team in Jeddah, where in one day we had a training, so many captains are flowing into the office, and because you're growing so fast, you don't know how many captains are coming, and you don't have enough chairs. What the team did without even asking for it is they simply stood up, brought their chairs to the captains, who should not stand in a training but sit, and they themselves, they sat on the floor. And this is the culture. When you build it, I think this is something you can scale at the end. Because tomorrow, these people, they will scale the culture as well, and they will have enough strength and enough spirit actually to overcome all the challenges from which you will find so many when you're growing 30% month on month. And this is, I think, the last key takeaway I had on this journey. And thank you very much for your time. Enjoy your coffee.
أستاذ عبد الله، إذا في أسئلة، أي أسئلة من الجمهور؟ هنا في سؤال.
طبعا. محسن الزهراني، مؤسس النقد. شكرا Abdullah for the presentation. The issues of fast growing are the best issues you will ever have. It's lovely issues. My question is related to the, did you face any issues of regulation or rules in different cities? Because we always hear about this in local and global and GCC in different countries. We say, okay, our OPER or others are going to face issues related to the being legal business in the countries.
So your question is about legalization. Yes, for sure. I mean, we're running a business which is completely not structured as a business in our governmental entities. It is not known what it means to dispatch actually a ride through an app. So when we look into وزارة النقل and the tarakhis you have there is no tarakhis for doing taxi dispatching through an app. It's simply not existing. And now when you start a business and you want to build on getting the tarakhis first and then do the business, you will never become a successful startup. Will this always mean that you have to get permission before you do something? I think if you do that, it's not working. Does this mean, on the other hand, that you at all day, all the time, you have to break the law actually to do something? This is not sustainable as well. So I think the answer is somewhere in the middle. You have actually to work with the government and with the regulator to regulate the markets. And you have to do this not because you are selfish. You have to do this because you actually want to help the people out there. Because today we are serving 10,000s of people every day in Saudi, bringing females to work, bringing females to the university, bringing females, especially females, to the schools. And this is it's a real added value. And the regulator understands this added value. Would he understand it when we don't do anything and go to him before we actually do this, right? Before you execute it? I think there's no one who will listen to you at all if you just talk about the theory. So now we are here. We have thousands, 10,000s of rights every day, and here's the added value. تفضلوا. And here are all the Saudis who are working with us as well as captains. And this is Saudization للقطاع. This is safety. This is an awesome service, and people like it. People need it. Now let's find a solution to make it completely regulated and organized and even more safe.
شكرا سعد الله.